it's a different voice this time around. It's Matthijs, also known as Matthew40, and tonight I'm here with Mike, who should originally be the lead commentator, but unfortunately his YouTube is messing up. It's probably the Welsh internet. How are you doing tonight, Mike?
I am doing okay, and of course, tonight, obviously you're filling in for Deadly Flo, who is unable to be here tonight. But yeah, I mean, everything going wrong at once, internet not allowing me jump on the stream to set it up, so you'll love to see it. So a bit of a last minute, we have missed a couple of minutes of qualifying, but round 2, Circuit of the Americas, like, what can we say about this track? Penalties, overheating tyres. You could have changeable conditions. We had wet weather in Division 4, and it's going to be a absolute cracker, I believe.
Yeah, it should be a good one. It's a very tough track for tyres and on on making mistakes. If you run wide a few times, that's already a penalty. So we should be expecting a few of those tonight. And oh yeah, right now it looks like Ryan Belshaw is on top. I'll just look up who won the last.
It was Ryan.
Last race.
It was Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Oh, well, he started good again. Jav getting a P2 last time out, so he'll be trying to replicate that. And in P3 it was Cloudy Cloud, the only wheel driver to get onto the podium. So what are you expecting from today as Aledi goes up to the top?
Well, I mean, as you know, Bahrain is one of those tracks where you either get it together on the day or you don't. And it's the same here at COTA. Like, obviously Ryan has shown good pace so far this season, but we've seen Serial Killer show some good pace. We've seen Jasper just spin around right there as I was just on board with him. Cloudy Cloud has shown some good pace. Aledi has shown good pace. Harry F, he made a lot of mistakes at Bahrain. He'll be looking to cut them out for tonight. And of course Jav, who is in the seat tonight. He's a reserve, I believe, not a full-time driver, and he'll be looking to improve on his result from last week. So it'll be interesting to see just how many of those who made mistakes from last week are able to cut them out and get together here tonight.
Yeah, he of course got that podium. I'm not sure whether he expected it himself, but I remember him celebrating like mad in the chat on the Saturday last week. And yeah, he's on the mediums now, so I'm not expecting to put it on him to put it on provisional pole for now. But you never know. There crazy things have happened in LOE.
Yeah, you never know what is going to happen, and what I'm checking right now is checking to make sure my audio is okay. That's what I'm checking right now. But yeah, we got the first couple of lap times on the board. Interested to see who is going to be the pace setters for the rest of the session, but at the moment, Aledi out on top, and it's a very, very good time from Aledi as well, a 1:31.6.
As Joseph just about pips him to the top by less than 200ths of a second. That's really close at the top, and something you just love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this track does promote a lot of good battling and some close times, especially in qualifying. I remember a few seasons ago in Division 2 where it was incredibly close, and you always see very tight battles up and down the divisions. Maybe a little bit more spread out when it comes to the lower divisions, but I think this division right here, Division 5, is going to be a lot closer than what people are thinking. We've got Jav on a 33.3, Lars on a 33.3 on the medium tyres. So it'll be interesting to see what they do when they go to softs.
Yeah, Jav was already 4 tenths up on his time after Sector 1. If he can keep that up, he'd be actually managing to get into the top 6, I think. Only time will tell. And of course, you talked about changeable conditions earlier. You had a race in D4 with changeable conditions, mostly wet, of course. How difficult is this track in the rain?
Well, the low-speed corners are you can get a lot of grip in the low speed corners. You just gotta respect the traction on the exit, and in the high speed corners, you really have to respect the lack of traction and grip you'll have on those full wet tyres. Of course, D4 went from full wets to inters. Hopefully these guys don't have to deal with that tonight, and hopefully they can keep it a nice dry race. See who comes out on top. But yeah, the kind of pace you're going to see if it is wet conditions is going to be varying on who is going to try and push the track beyond its limits.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks that you either have a really nice flow or you're going to be outside the top 10. It's one or the other. Of course, the alternate strategy is pretty decent. I think in Division 1 you managed to get a podium out of it. So yeah, the alternate track, like at nearly every track on this game, it's very strong, and I think a lot of drivers will be trying to do it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as strategy goes here, I think it's a relatively straightforward one-stop soft to the mediums, or if you're outside the top 10, or like Jaff inside the top 10 at the moment on mediums, medium soft. I don't think you'll see too many hard compound tyres. I know they are just a little bit iffy at this track.
Yeah, the hard tires, you can't even make the strategy work without them, so I do not see a necessity for any driver to go onto those hard compound tires.
And of course, obviously right now we're in a little bit of the middle phase of the track where you're just going to get yellow flags blocking how much time is left, so you don't know exactly how much time you have left in the session. But we got Harry F coming through the final corner now, and it is going to be provisional pole with a 1:31.3. A good lap there from Harry F.
Yeah, very good lap indeed. That's very impressive to see. It's clear by nearly 2/10, I'd say.
Yeah, just under 2/10 of a second. I believe we got a who we got coming for the final corner. I believe that is Alfred Towery. Is that Cloudy Cloud? No, Cloudy Cloud into the pitch. Jasper invalidated. So who will be the next man across the line? I believe we got Steven, who is about to start up a lap and flip not too far behind that. I'm curious to see who's actually on a lap right now. So we're seeing a lot of invalidations here, and that's another thing that we gotta keep an eye out for. Very easy to invalidate here.
Yeah, right now we've got Aleti on a lap. He put in a purple middle sector. I don't know how his first sector was. Taking that very nicely indeed. Then goes wide to turn in for the final corner. Taking some nice lines. And across the line, ooh, not quite. But he's taking the right lines. He should be able to get a bit more time out of that.
Yeah, and we just seen Ibo ahead of him improve up into 13th. And honestly, on a game like this, I think it does benefit a guy like Ibo who can keep it clean, keep it consistent. May not do it on raw pace all the time, but he's not going to make mistakes like everyone else will.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been racing for so many years now. He knows exactly league racing game through and through. And dude Inat is getting in the way of Emperor Rob here. This is absolutely ruining his lap. Ooh, he won't be happy with that one.
Do you know what I mean? I've had my issues with Emperor Rob last season with the same thing. So karma. As Java's actually retired, and there goes Stephen Roback there on the provisional pole position with a 31.1.
That's a very good lap indeed. We could definitely see some of the drivers getting into the 30s, I'd say.
I was gonna ask at the start of the qualifying session before we had all the issues. What do you reckon the pole time would be? I was gonna say that a low 31 or a high 30.
I do not see enough of the Division 5 guys, unfortunately, to be able to put in an accurate prediction without seeing anything. But yeah, right now that high 30 you said, that should be looking good, I'd say.
Yeah, and the man Stephen Roback, a bit of a legend here in Liga Europe. Up there right now on provisional pole position, and a great lap from him.
And I saw Jav retired. I don't know whether that was on track or that he was just satisfied with his medium lap. But if he's,
I'm sure he'll be in the chat soon.
Yeah, probably. It's Jav's favourite thing to do. And yeah, I think if he's able to start on mediums in P10, he should be looking very good for a race. And Flip is 9/10 up on his lap. He's looking very good to maybe challenge even for pole position right now.
Yeah, purple in the middle sector. I'm not sure if that's purple for the entire session, because Codemasters does like the light everyone when it shows us purple sectors. But into the penultimate corner now, and final corner. See what his exit is like. A little bit cautious on entry, I think, though.
Excuse me, say that again?
A little bit cautious on the entry for Flip. Didn't really throw it into that final corner, which I think that might have just cost him snagging the provisional pole.
Yeah, and I've just had confirmation from the one and only Fabrizio Romano that he has in fact retired in the pits, so he's just satisfied with his lap, I'd say.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad spot for Jav. If he gets through in 10th, he starts on the mediums. If he gets knocked out of the top 10, he can have a fresh set of mediums.
And we have United Bosnia coming around the final corner, opening with the DRS, and he goes up into 14th. It's not horrible for him, but he'll definitely be looking for more, I think.
Yeah, United Bosnia, a man who's gone no assists on this game, and he has been struggling to get used to it. And I think probably around round 5 of the season, we'll start to see him get the hang of it a bit better, and hopefully see him battling up towards a sharp end.
Yeah, someone who I don't see battling at the front end of the field is Dude Out for now. He's really struggling with this track so far. He's not getting into the nice rhythm, and yeah, you can tell he's losing time hand over fist right now, which is not nice to see, of course.
We've got an interesting situation here with the 2 Red Bulls. Maybe serial killer going to try and give Joseph a bit of a long-range tow.
I doubt it. I don't think the tow is that powerful around here. Especially seeing as they're 4 seconds apart and this game is not accurate in the slightest.
Who else have we got going towards the end of the lap? It will just start in a lap.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a dull, so we'll go on board with Serial Killer for now. Just coming into the second sector now. That left-hander, you want to cut the apex a little bit more. Then come onto this curve to open up the corner. Nice, nicely done. Then downhill, full photo, perfectly over that curve. Then want to get all the way to the right-hand side, maybe even sometimes over that curve. Then to turn in for this, gets that curve lovely. Then gets on the throttle for this long straight line. It's a great overtaking opportunity in the race. In the qualifying, it's just a bit of a bore fest, just waiting for the next corner to arrive. As it finally does, braking for this corner, gets onto that curve. You can cut it more if you'd like, but of course, Codemasters is never reliable, so you might need to watch out with that. Then tricky traction down here, then into this weird left-hander. You want to get a late apex, not the first apex, but the second one. Then this triple right, it's the mirrored version of the Turkey triple left-hander. Then here, we want to get onto that curb to turn in for the left, get onto that exit curb, doesn't quite do it, then turn in for the left-hander, gets fully over that curb zone and on the first one on the exit, and he gets into P7 for now, as Joseph puts himself up into P4.
Yeah, and I can't see how long we got left in this session because of the yellow flags blocking the time, but Stephen Roback just able to get over the line to get his lap underway. I think Lars, unfortunately, is going to miss out. Though Flip, Harry F, Lars, United Bosnia and Ibo will not be improving on their times, and of course Jaff and Ben Scott, who have retired from the session, so it's all on the likes of Joseph, Lady, Ryan Belshot to try and beat Stephen Roback's time.
Let's see what Bellin can do. 2/10 improvement, but not in position. Let's see who's next across the line. It might be a Letty actually, but he's so far down in his lap. His previous lap time.
He's coming in.
Is it Emperor by any chance? It looks to be, yes.
Tell you what, everyone who could possibly challenge Stephen Roebuck right now have either so far off their lap time or they've invalidated. So the next one who could potentially jump himself a decent amount up the order would be Swift, who's just coming into the final corner now. It's a cloudy cloud. And the ninth, Jasper knocking him down to 10th.
And it gets put out of the top 10 yet again. And let's see what can Stephen Roebuck do. Can he smash the field even further? Oh, he's not taking out as much speed. And he's just going to cruise across the line. Easily done.
Yeah,
and he gets pole position.
Yeah, doesn't need to do too much. He knows he's got pole position. Joseph and Ryan in the pits. We'll wait for Ryan to retire from the session. Along with Serial Killer and Joseph, but that is going to wrap up qualifying. Stephen Roebuck in the Alfa Romeo gets himself on pole position here today.
Yeah, he did very well in qualifying, but I'm gonna be like completely honest. I wanted to see a 30. It's a bit selfish, of course, but I really wanted to see a driver do a 30 today, and yeah, unfortunately we didn't see that. Stephen is probably very happy to get on pole position, but I do think some drivers have the potential to do better in qualifying today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the likes of Steve-O, Flip, Harry, Ryan, Aledi, and even Joseph, I think like they had the potential to get into the 30s, but it's a shame that they couldn't hook it up when they had the chance. Stephen obviously just backing out at the end, knowing pole position was secured, and probably a good shout. So it looked like he's on 3-lap worn tyres, so doesn't want to take anything extra out of it.
Yeah, and it is looking very good. If qualifying is anything to go by, the race should be very close, and yeah, of course the top 10 will all go for the soft medium strategy. But I do wonder what the guys outside the top 10 are going to do. Of course, Jav is very likely to go for the medium soft strategy, and considering the delta between the soft and the medium is 1.3 seconds, Jav was insanely close with his banker.
Yep, and I'm going to quickly run us through the grid. I got 20 seconds, so let's see if I can do this. Stephen Roebuck on pole position with Flip Namsaram in second place, Harry F in third, with Joseph in fourth, Ryan Belshaw in fifth, Aledi in sixth, Ben Scott in seventh, Serial Killer eighth, Swift in ninth, Jasper, rounded out the top 10. And outside the top 10, free choice of tyre compound, we got Cloudy, Jav, Lars, United Bosnia, Belen, Ibo, Dude, and Emperor Ruben. I need to catch my breath after that.
And we have got Mike, aka the Slim Shady, here commentating today, so that's always nice to see. And yeah, I'm really wondering. Jav going for the medium suggests it's going to be dry. It looks dry to me. We could always see some rain later on in the race, but that's only for us commentators to hope. Of course, the drivers will hope it's a fairly straightforward race.
Yes, you never know what could happen. It could be a dry or race. It could go wet around lap 15. Obviously, we see a few clouds in the air, but not really too much to concern us at this point.
And of course, we're both drivers in LOE in our respective divisions. As a driver yourself, what are you usually hoping for in a race when, for example, starting at the back or front or midfield?
Okay, so starting at the front, I am focused on trying to get the best launch possible. So I am immediately focused on trying to bring my tyres up to temp, get the brakes up to temp, and just focus on getting that bite on the clutch as you're about to get underway. In the midfield, it's incredibly important to be aware of the cars around you. It's so easy to end up 3 wide, someone trying to hit down the inside, pushes you off track. You just want to avoid any contact that could leave you with a damaged front wing. And of course, starting at the back, you want to be alert of what's in front of you, and just try and avoid like what's going on there.
Yeah, I'd say midfield. It's always really tricky. It's in terms of choosing lines as well. I usually try to go for the outside line, just trying to do the typical Alonso technique. Just go around the outside, and yeah, just try to make up places by that with people on the inside being fairly cautious usually. People on the inside usually are on a very narrow angle to the apex, and that means the guy around the outside usually takes more speed and takes the position as well.
Yeah, especially in the turn 1 at the Circuit in America. So obviously the elevation change allows you to brake later, with it being a uphill braking point. And obviously there's so many lines you can take into turn 1 as well. You can go deep and get a nice little switchback line. Obviously, I mean, we've seen it many times, 3 wide up there into turn 1, lap 1. It's not nice if someone decides to stick their nose in like as you're going through there 3 wide and making it 4 wide.
And I'm gonna spring this upon you real quick. Who do you think is going to be the top 3?
Okay, so looking at the grid, I'm gonna go with Harry F for the victory. I think he's gonna bounce back after last week. With Letty and I think another podium for Jav. So that's my top 3.
Yeah, and just the medium starters are Cloudy, Jav, Sir Ibo, and Emperor. The rest are on soft. As we wait for the race to get started. It's 4, 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. It looks like Steven has a fairly good start, but Flip is already alongside, and he's already passed him into turn 1. Flip around the outside. Sorry, Steven around the outside. Steven going off track. Flip staying on track.
Contact in the back.
I think that's going far down. Oh, I am not sure what happened there.
And I think Jav might have picked up a little bit of damage as well, perhaps.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. He's in P9 for now, but does he have damage? Let's just see. Does Javier have damage? Does not look like it. His front wing seems to be fine. Maybe he's floor damage, but he's up into P8 for now, and he's loving life, I'd say.
I saw him. He was in that mix with everyone. Maybe everyone just ghosted and he was able to get away with it. So I didn't see a couple of ghost cars around him. So he might have got lucky there. But a fantastic launch from Flip to immediately put Steven Roback under pressure. But as you said, the outside coming in clutch for the Alfa Romeo and able to stick ahead.
Yeah, but it was a bit questionable though, because Steven went off track and kept position. I am not sure that's fully on. I don't know how the stewards would look at that one, but I'd be annoyed if I was Flip personally.
Yeah, I think also with Harry trying to get involved as well, as we got Bellin getting past Serial Killer, so it might be Serial Killer the one I saw with damage, and it doesn't look like he's visually got damage, but he is definitely slowing, and into the pits he's going to come.
And yeah, Jav has some very good pace right now. He was 1.6 seconds behind Jasper after sector 1 last lap, and he's already nearly within the second now as he jumps across that curve. My god. And yeah, Steven Roback, he is burning his ERS quite a bit. He's already down to 59%, but he is trying to pull that gap on Flip right now. As we've got a few guys in the pits just changing their front wing. That's Serial Killer and Swip and Dude in that,
and Joseph's around.
Who's around?
Joseph in the Red Bull. He's lost it at the top of the hill.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. How is he
absolutely
lost it there?
Wait. I was on the exit of turn 9.
Oh, that's left under, yeah. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, I found short shifting is key there, but it's always going to remain tricky. And yeah, Steven has that DRS gap now. He'll be trying to keep that up, but yeah, only time will tell. And my god, Jav is just storming through the field right now. I no disrespect to the guys ahead of him, but I'd say Jav is favourite to win right now.
Yeah, Jav is looking incredibly strong right now, already up in the 7th place. within a nice window of the likes of Jasper up ahead. But the one thing I will kind of just draw the attention to is the ERS.
Yep. That's a very good point indeed. Jav did burn quite a bit of ERS to get past those guys. And if he thinks he can make them overtake stick, of course you can use ERS, but it will cost you at some point in the race.
Yeah, what Jav is going to find now is that, see, these softs at the moment are still going to be the better tyre. So
yes.
Jav is going to have to use a bit of ERS just to try and keep with everyone, keep in this train. And then as those tyres start to drop off in performance, then he can start to save his ERS and then go on the attack.
Yeah, well right now he's not saving any ERS, he's fully going for it, saw him hop across the curve again. I think he might already have a warning from that one, but only time will tell whether he actually gets a penalty from hopping across those curves. He's already down on 30% ERS, he's really anxious to get past as many drivers as possible, as I'd say the top two have pulled quite a significant gap already.
Yeah, we can see Roback, he's also used a decent amount of ERS to try and
down
break.
the inside of Jasper here. Jasper gets forced wide there onto the curb. Jav around the outside. Is Jasper still on the inside? They go side by side. Jasper off the track there. And still down the inside here, side by side, and he manages to get the move for now. I don't think he'll be too happy with Jasper because he got forced off track there. Don't think personally that's a fair penalty, but yeah, that's,
if I was Jav, I would be looking to get rid of that warning after the race, and I'd just put that into the stewards. Hopefully he doesn't pick up another one, as we got dude who has retired from the session and is, I mean, I don't know how he's lost it there. Maybe took too much curb on turn 10 perhaps.
Yeah, but still that shouldn't spin you in my opinion. Anyway, that's not for us to figure out. That's for anyone else that's interested. For example, the orgs that might need to look at it. And Jav is on his ERS constantly. And yeah, the top two have pulled away like crazy. Especially Steven now. He's really used that ERS to get that 1.7 second gap so far. And yeah, Jav is looking on the back of Ben just for another overtake. He's got that penalty now, of course. I don't know where it's going. Oh, Ben very late defense there. Jav down the inside. They aren't side by side anymore because Jav has gone ahead.
Yeah, Jav up into 5th place. Now this is going to be interesting because we see Jav, he's burnt a lot of VRS. Ryan has a considerable amount more ERS than Jav. Jav does not have DRS anymore either to boot, so it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to close up to Ryan.
Yeah, when would you say the medium would become the better race tire compared to the soft?
I'd say this lap or next lap, considerably.
So Jav is using his ERS to defend, and he's keeping the position now. And the other thing Jav just needs to do right now is getting that DRS from Ryan, so he's safe from Ben behind.
Yeah, because hopefully what Jav's going to be looking to do now as he goes, he gets a little bit out of shape in the SS. That's going to put him right under pressure from the likes of Scott and Jasper. And here's the thing now for Jav, he doesn't have DRS. These two guys behind him will have DRS and have a lot more ERS to play with.
Yeah, I can only see Jav struggle in this position, to be honest. He's very low on ERS. He's used it already going towards the inside line to defend it. Ben is using quite a bit of ERS, and yeah, Jav is just a sitting duck. So he's got nothing to defend with at all. He was on 0% at the end of the straight. It's must be very frustrating. Goes for the switchback though, around the outside here of Ben. Ben quite narrow to the apex. And Jav going for the switchback here. Ooh, not quite. Down the inside yet again, as he did on Jasper. Very late on the brakes there, and just forces Ben to back off there.
Jasper around the outside of Ben. Jasper taking advantage of that situation, getting himself up into P6 right behind Jav. But for a very a great battle between those two
Ooh.
there as Ben
Oh,
is actually
Ben.
into the pits.
That's very early. You must be going for the two-stop because, as I know from experience, you can definitely not go onto the mediums from lap 6 or 7 onwards. Pain.
Yeah, it's a bit of an early call.
And yeah, he's gone on to a new set of softs. He's definitely committed to this two-stop there. And yeah, Jav now trying to nail the S's a bit better now. Goes very wide there though, and it's just not helping him catch up to Ryan as quickly as he might like. Oh, very wide there again, and this just means Jasper's right on the back of him. Beautiful switchback, and that gives the position to Jasper there.
Lars down the inside as well.
Yeah, Lars down the inside. Needs to be careful not to brake too late, and he should make a move. Jav's still around the outside on the curb on the traction, and that's a brilliant defensive move from him.
This is going to be interesting. Lars with the ERS advantage on Jav. Not looking to use it, but he's having a little peek down the inside. Chooses to not go for it, and
Jasper
Jav
very
now
narrow there to the apex. Jav trying to look around the outside here. Is he able to make that work? Is he able to make that stick? Just tries to go down the outside again. Jasper, oh, wise it to it this time, and yeah, Jav can't get past for now. And Jav is just struggling with that ERS, you can just tell.
We're seeing right now, Jav, this is worst case scenario. He's used all of his ERS. He's getting trapped in these battles with the likes of Jasper, Lars, and obviously Ben Scott when he was there. Look at the time that they've all lost now to Ryan Belshaw.
Yeah, it's not just the Ryan Belshaw, it's mostly the top two. That they can Jav can pretty much forget his a chance at the race win, because the guys from the top two have pulled away so much in the last few laps. It's quite incredible.
Looking at the gap now between Jav and Stephen Roback, it is 12.4 seconds, and you can probably say that's 15 seconds with Jav's 3-second time penalty, whether it gets removed or not. It's looking like this strategy, it would have worked in theory, but just got caught lacking with his ERS usage.
Yeah, you can tell these drivers are not quite up to the standard of D1, of course, in terms of pace, but also in terms of racecraft. And yeah, here Lars down the inside, sorry. Jav around the outside still. Is he going to around the outside of Jasper? Braked very late there and gets another penalty. Ooh, Lars trying to go around the outside there. It doesn't work for now.
Oh, Jasper's gone.
Yeah, that's Jasper gone. Oh no. At least that opens up the air for Jav in front of him, but he's still got Lars right on the back of him, and Lars has so much ERS compared to Jav. Oh, Jav spins as well! Oh no! Oh, he manages to keep it out of the wall, which is very good indeed, but that is so unexpected from so many of these guys, as Ryan pits on lap 7. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but if he's better on tyre wear than some people, then he might be able to make it work.
Alright, and obviously looking at the way Jasper spun and the way that Jav spun, what would you say, just overheating the tyres?
Yeah, of course overheating the tyres is a definite possibility, but I do remember, especially in qualifying, I managed to spin where Jasper did. He managed to come out of it a bit better, and I struggled quite a bit in the race with the triple right-hander. The rear going very loose on me the more the tyres got, and I didn't expect Jav to already be struggling with it, in all honesty, but as we saw, he clearly did.
Yes, we got United Bosnia under pressure from Cloudy Cloud and the other AlphaTauri. We saw one spin earlier, now we got one trying to close up on the McLaren.
Yeah, and just looking towards the top guys, Stephen has now got more ERS than Flip. It's looking for Stephen's race to lose, of course, and with that I probably have Kirsten now as a commentator, but I do not care.
This is interesting. Ben Scott was battling with Jasper and Jav moments ago before he made his pit stop, and now he's already ahead of him.
Yeah, of course there are certain circumstances that have contributed to that, as of course Jasper's spin, and the undercut is absolutely massive around there. I'd say it's around 2 seconds. I'd say if you really know Yaroslav.
Yes, we got Harry into the pits on third place. Let's see where he comes out relative to Ben Scott and Ryan Belshaw behind, who's on the medium compound tyres. Harry also going for the two-stop strategy, and he's going to come out behind his teammate.
I'm a bit baffled by that. I don't know why he decided to go for the soft tyres. I don't know why people are going for the one-stop or the two-stop in general. I think just the one-stop is overall the quickest.
I think it's obviously we go for the one-stop because obviously it is the quicker strategy for us. Here in Division 5, I think a lot of people forget to change the setups at the strategy at the start, so they end up with their pre-selected two-stop strategy and they just go with it.
Here we've got Ryan Belshaw getting past Jasper very easily indeed. Ben down the inside of Bellin, breaks very late, and is he able to make that move stick? Just about keeps it on the track and makes the move. Lovely stuff. As Harry gets past him, past Jasper as well, and now back on the back of Ryan. Is Ryan going to let him past? I don't think so. No team orders for now. As Steven comes in the pits, and Flip is still staying out. That's very interesting indeed, and he's gone onto the hard targets. Okay, well, he's definitely going for the one stop.
This race up. This will open this race up now because I saw him pick up a 3-second time penalty as well on the entry into the pits.
Oh, that's interesting indeed. The pits, of course, is often a bit unreliable in terms of penalties, but I wouldn't have gone for the hard tires. That's throwing me off a little bit. And yeah, you can see Jav is now behind Steven, which is just such a shame looking at the pace Jav had this race so far. As Ben picks up another penalty, I think that's his second. Yes, it is indeed.
The question is, how long is Jav going to go on those tyres? Because obviously he's got a 4.5 second gap to the next medium runner, which is Cloudy Cloud. So he's probably not too concerned about him, but behind obviously you've got Ben Scott, who's on a two-stop and could possibly have the pace to close up and have to put Jav under pressure late into this race.
You've got Cloudy Cloud trying to go down the inside of the United Bosnian, not quite for now. Oh, as he locks up quite a bit there. And Harry has dropped off Ryan quite a severe amount. I'm not sure what happened, whether those two guys had a battle and contact maybe, or...
Flips in.
Yeah, a flip is indeed, and if he goes on to mediums, I'd say he's looking very good for the win. As Ben goes around the outside here? Surely not. Yeah, he does. Beautiful. Yeah, and Flip goes on to mediums, and I'd say that makes him the favourite to win this race in my opinion. Steven will get him for now, but Flip is... he should have far superior pace compared to Steven, as Jav is behind Flip for now. And yeah, that is perfect for Flip, not to get stuck behind Jav, and yeah, just be able to run your
yellow
race.
flag. That's Cloudy Cloud around.
Oh, Cloudy Cloud. Oh, what's happened there? Did he lose it, or did he have contact with someone?
I have no idea. I just saw yellow flag in Sector 1. The Alpha Tauri around, spinning just like his teammate did earlier, but yeah, that's heartbreaking for Cloudy Cloud. He's going to have to drive pretty careful now just to get those temps back under control. And I'm not sure. It looks like he's managed to get away without any damage, so that's lucky for Cloudy Cloud.
Yeah, and now Flip is burning that ERS to try to get with Steven. He's yeah, he's got the tire advantage, he's got the ERS advantage just about, I'd say, and yeah, he's not catching that much, not as much as I expected. Steven working very nicely in those hards, probably already warmed them up, of course. And yeah, Jav is trying to stay with Flip, but you can see the wear on the tires, having little moments of oversteer as well, and yeah, it's a case of what could have been for Jav. As further down, that's Aleti getting past Emperor Rub. Ooh, Aleti going off track there. As Emperor Rub tries to switch back, Aleti going very deep there. And side by side going into this double left-hander. Emperor Rob returning around the outside. Ooh,
Gets the traction,
can make
though.
it work. Can make it work. Very good exit there. Still side by side. Aleti round the outside. Can he do the same thing Jav did a while ago? Still side by side, going into the left-hander. Oh, he gets it for now. Does he keep the
off
position?
track,
Goes off track. That's a tad questionable, but he gets the position for now.
I think, sportsmanship, just dictates he does Emperor back through, which he is doing.
Very nicely done. Oh, and this is United Bosnia coming out of the pits. Oh, very tricky situation. Emperor Rob nearly stopping on the apex there. Aleti trying to get past Emperor yet again, and he does. And now he can try to get on the back of United Bosnia, who is on the medium tyres and will just try to run his own race.
Yeah, and Jasper, oh my god, Jasper! Absolutely threading the needle there to get past Emperor Rob. I was going to say Jasper had to really slam on the brakes to not go into the back of Emperor in turn 1, but in the S's they're able to get the move done in turn 6 of all places, finding the room down the inside.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to catch that one on the frame, but hearing your reaction, that must have been quite the move from Jasper there on Emperor Rob. And yeah, it does seem like Aleti's got very decent pace. That was also shown in qualifying, but United Bosnia should be able to get away from him now. As if we look at the soft, Flip has gotten quite close to Steven in the past lap or so.
Yeah, Flip, I think that now those mediums are starting to bite into the track, he's starting to feel the bit of grip that he has the advantage as we go through the essay. As you can see, he's gaining through here quite considerably, actually.
Oh, as Joseph is on the back of Emperor here. He's got slightly fresher tyres on those hards. Would try to go down the inside possibly here. Yeah, looks towards the inside, goes down the inside, makes the apex. Emperor's still around the outside. That's moved on for Joseph. And Belen
Jasper around.
Jasper. Oh, what happened there?
I am not sure. Jasper was battling with the likes of.
Oh, Emperor hopping over the curb there, and Belen gets through. Sorry to interrupt there.
I'm trying to look to see if there's any sign of wing damage on any of these guys that Jasper was battling with. Doesn't appear to be, so I'm thinking maybe a little bit of contact with someone's side pod sending Jasper around, but it's not been a good day so far for the man in the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, and I've had it myself. It's a very interesting traction zone. It's tricky to get right. You're always battling with oversteer. As looking further towards the front, Aleti is trying to get past United now, and Ben Scott is round.
Switch back from Bosnia, and yeah, as you said, Ben Scott having a bit of a moment, and yeah, he's gone again. He's out.
What's happened there? He must have
safety
really
car,
heated up
full
the
course safety car.
Safety car. Okay, that's perfect for Jav. Actually, is it? I don't think he can make it on soft if he pits now. He'll have to go on to hards, which, considering his pace, is not the worst thing in the world. But I don't know what to think of this safety car. This is yeah.
This is big for the likes of Aledi and those who went around early in the race, because it brings them back into it, and a fresh set of mediums going on Aledi's car, and of course Flip as well.
What would you be doing if you were on track right now in the leader's position, either Steven or Flip?
I mean, if I'm in Steven's position, I have no idea what to do here. He could chance a pit stop. Maybe he'll come out like in between. Well, he should probably come out around where Ryan Belshaw is. Question is, does he want to give up the track position? As for Jav, he's in a right predicament right now. So the only tyre realistically he can go on is the hards, unless he thinks it's going to be another safety car late in the race to switch on to the softs.
Yeah, or unless he thinks his tyre weight is that supreme that he'll be able to get on those softs to the end. And Steven does in fact pit. Does Flip pit? Flip does not pit.
It doesn't make sense for Flip to make a pit stop, and Jav stays out.
This Okay.
Rain's in.
Well, I'm not going to be mean about it, but I would have personally pit. I'd say track precision is quite vital, and staying out, especially with those penalties, I just try to go onto the hards, knowing the pace you have, and try to get past people.
Yeah, I mean, Old School has said it a fair few times in the past. Some of the strategy calls we do see down here in D5 are just baffling for absolutely everyone. But for Jav to stay out on 14 lap old mediums, and bearing in mind now he's going to have Stephen right behind him on fresh mediums, he's going to have a lot of guys behind him on much fresher tyres. I don't see this working out too well for Jav. He should have came into the pits.
I think it's funny that Old School isn't exactly one to talk about interesting strategies. He does love an odd strategy himself. I think he's put himself in trouble quite a few times because of those interesting strategies. Well, anyway, let's just look towards the race as it is right now. Look at the tires that everyone has put on, and who would you say is looking the favourite to pull in this race win as Ben Scott leads this session?
Well, right now I'm thinking Flip has the best chance, because Stephen, okay, now he's on the same tyres as Flip, so he hasn't lost the tyre advantage. In fact, he's on the fresher tyres, so he should be theoretically a little bit better than Flip. But he does have that 3-second time penalty.
I haven't seen a few drivers pick up penalties under the safety car. That is very sloppy in my opinion. I can fully understand picking up penalties or warnings under like a normal race situation, as Jav does decide to pit now.
That's a very weird call from Jav to wait that extra lap.
Yeah, I'd probably say he was just indecisive and not sure what to do. What tires were he on?
These are soft tyres though.
Is he? Oh, he's on the soft tires. That is, wow. Okay. Sure. If he thinks that's doable, I fully trust him. Well, we'll see. He'll definitely spice up this race, looking at his pace and his determination to get past people. Yeah, I'd personally say Steven Roebuck is the favourite to win, because he showed really good pace already, and on those tires that are 4 or 3 laps fresher than Flips, he's yeah, I'd say he's in the prime position to win this race.
Yeah, the one thing I can't get out of my head is the fact that Steven Roebuck has that 3-second time penalty, and we've seen that he was able to gap Flip a little bit, but wasn't able to pull that 3-second gap.
He was able to pull it out eventually, after I'd say a lap
pit
on 9.
stops.
And of course, those tires were fairly similar age back then, and they're in the advantageous position for Steven right now. But it's
I'm so curious about Jav.
Yeah. I think he was just not sure whether he'd be able to make it to the end. And safety car is in this lap.
So 12 laps on the softs for Cloudy Cloud and Jav. It is doable, but they'll be right on the edge.
When would you go if you were Flip?
If I was Flip, I would probably go just about on the entry into the final corner. You'll back up the pack and then try and get the jump on that just before you go into the corner, because if he waits too long on the exit, he's not going to get the advantage, and he's gone already. So he's caught Steven.
Very good restart. Steven goes very deep into that corner that just
to Lars perfectly.
Oh my god, that is quite the moment there for Lars. Now Ryan is on the back of Steven, doesn't go for the move, but That's a massive gap already for Flip. And yeah, Stephen's struggling.
Oh, and Aletti's around.
Oh
Yes,
no!
turn 1.
Oh damn! Yeah, turn 1 catching out someone yet again. Tires must have been called after that safety car restart, of course, and yeah, turn 1 claims another victim.
Yeah, unfortunate for Aletti, that was his moment to try and get himself back into this race.
And
But
just look at the gap Flip's already got, and he's not even burned the ERS.
and that's going to be the thing now. Stephen's going to need to burn the RS to catch back up the Flip. We know that, and he's going to be towing Ryan along with him, and Ryan's going to be towing Lars along. And what we're going to see is Stephen needs to catch and pass Flip. Try and build a 3-second window, because right now he's under pressure not only for losing the race win, he's under pressure of not being on the podium.
Yeah, it's well, Stephen is getting into that DRS window yet again, but he's had to burn 50% of his ERS to do so, and yeah, that is just ideal for Flip, who has barely burnt any himself.
Yeah, and Stephen running out of deployment, so that's going to allow Ryan Belshaw to close up a little bit, and even Ryan's used about 50% of his ERS as well, so these two are not looking too good on their ERS at this moment in time, but Ryan keeping it clean on penalties, as we got Jav trying to get through on Joseph, able to do so. Is he going to try on Harry F and the S's?
Oh, Jav around the outside here of Harry, not quite yet. Then trying to get the switch back here, maybe around the outside here. Around the outside? Surely not. Surely not. Oh, and they have contact. Oh, Harry's around. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Jav with a very audacious move there, and I think it could just be me that Harry understeered into him. What it is?
I from the camera angle I had, didn't look like it was contact, but I was on broadcast camera for that.
Yeah, but the way he spun it, it looked like contact to me, and yeah, Cloudy trying to go around the outside here, not quite. Jav, oh my god, he broke a 8 there. My god, that he didn't hit someone, that's a miracle sent here by God. I myself, I'm not a religious person, but that could have only been God.
Jav down the inside on Cloudy. Cloudy will have the outside, was returned to the inside.
Jav still around the outside, he's made this move before, surely not. Oh my goodness me, Jav is putting on the show.
Absolutely fantastic display of overtaking from
Bellin.
Yeah, fantastic display of overtaking here from Jav today. It's a shame that he had that half spin earlier, which definitely dropped him a lot of places, but now on these soft tires he's going to try to get himself as close to the top 3 as possible.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing that he really needs to worry about is his tyre wear. His tyre wear could really get him over here. Well,
and the lady's gone.
Who's gone?
Both the lady and Emperor.
That's so unfortunate. And here we've got Sirika on the back of Bellin, trying to go down the inside here. Very low on the earth already, but so is Bellin now, I think. Yeah, he is. And it doesn't even room on the outside, so well done from Sirika there. And yeah, he's ahead of her now. Bellin getting into the stitching. Joseph trying to get past Bellin now. He's got far more ERS. Could he be looking at Sirika? Probably not, unless he breaks far too late.
Gets ahead of United Bosnia as well.
Very nice.
Turn 12. Yeah, and one thing I have just noticed right now, Flip has also picked himself up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that has put them on some real danger from losing this win to Ryan. Oh, yeah. As Ryan gets a massive snap there, obviously out of come up from the corner.
As I was saying, Ryan, the real spanner in the works, because Stephen has been towing Ryan along.
As Jack picks up the first lap, he is absolutely going for it, and yet again he has burned his ERS down to absolutely nothing already. It's he's shown great pace so far. Just he needs to improve on that ERS management, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Jav, D4 pace, D5 ERS management.
I tend to agree with that. That caught me a bit off guard there, but yeah, you're right there. And he's showing really good pace overall, but as he makes a mistake, that's probably our fault. Yeah, that ERS management.
He's probably listening to the stream and chuckled at that as well. That probably will is.
Steven
around the outside of Flip.
Oh, as they make contact there, Flip still gets the pace, but there was a bit of wheel banging. Steven still down the inside of Flip there. Flip manages to keep the position right for now, around the outside. Ryan has dropped out of DRS now though.
Yeah, Ryan has had a moment somewhere, because he was 2 seconds behind these two as they were going side by side. Ryan's definitely had a moment, he's dropped back. And this is dangerous, because now he does not have DRS to keep him with these two guys up ahead who clearly have a better pace here today to pull away.
Yeah. Oh, as he picks up a penalty, that's well, right now either Lars or Flip or Steven, basically everyone could win this race. Steven and Flip could have contact somewhere, both resulting in damage, and Ryan could take it, or Lars manages to. How long has he been on the softs?
Same as Flip.
Oh, he's not on softs, it's on mediums. Yeah, same amount of time as Flip. He should be able to make it to the end fairly easily.
Ryan's struggling. Ryan's
really struggling. Lars is looking very good for a podium and maybe even the win right now if he can get past Ryan quickly enough. And let's just see in terms of ERS. Flip is on quite a bit more ERS than Steven behind him right now. Will Steven go for another move? Flip is really burning his ERS to stay ahead for now, and will he manage? Steven does not even go for the move. Just lifts off the throttle there. Oh, Flip gone quite deep there.
And Lars right now behind Ryan Belshaw. He has just seen one of the most brilliant things I think anyone ever chasing will ever see, and that's the red light blinking saying that the guy in front of you has no ERS.
Yeah, that is something something sent from the heavens above. That is probably the most beautiful sight a league racer could see from the car ahead. Other than them locking up or having a little spin, as Jav picks up another penalty. And I was about to say he's dropped off space a bit, but he's really found it now. Did pick up a penalty unfortunately, but which will hurt him come the end of the race. But there's nothing wrong with his pace so far, just a few other things are lacking slightly.
Yeah, I think if Jav didn't have that spin earlier, Steven Roebuck picks up another 3-second time penalty, so now it's a sign of relief for Flip, and a shred of hope right now for Ryan to maybe get himself on the podium.
Yeah, I'd say Ryan has definitely got a lot of hope of getting onto the podium, Lars as well, and yeah, Steven could see this also slip away, but Ryan does not have any pace right now. I'd say, yeah, Flip is definitely favourite to win. Who gets onto the podium it's down to Steven and Ryan, and maybe Lars whether he can make the move stick.
Looking at the gap to the leader right now, Lars is teetering around that 3-second gap to Flip. So if Lars can maybe manage to get ahead of Ryan and try and close up to the battle between Steven and Flip, he may end up seeing himself on the top step of the podium here.
Yeah, it's actually incredible how much time Jav seems to gain in the final sector compared to the other sectors. He didn't look that fast in the first part of the lap, but in the last sector he comes alive. Whether it's the soft tires or him just really liking the last sector, it's gotten him with DRS.
It's Pad, isn't it? Pad is terrible in the first sector, but pretty decent in the final.
Yeah, but still, I'm not sure which rovers here are on. I think Ryan is on Pad, so that doesn't say too much compared to Jav.
I mean, Ryan loses out in the first sector and gains it back a bit in the final.
Yeah, true, I guess, but Well, anyway, it's not the time for a wheel and pat debate. It's time to see Jav spice it up yet again. He's trying to get a good exit. Slight oversteer there. He's deploying any bit of ERS he has. Barely has any, unfortunately. He's trying to get on the back of Lars. Lars isn't burning any ERS. Is he going for the dive bomb? No, he thinks better of it, and that's Lars still in P4 for now. And yeah, Ryan has dropped out of those 3 seconds from Steven, and as it stands, Lars might not even be able to get P2 here.
I mean, Lars is definitely looking good for P2 at least.
I wouldn't say so with the amount of time Ryan is losing to Steven right now.
But he needs to lose another 2 seconds.
Yeah, but the way it's been going, it's definitely possible.
But that's definitely going to help
Ooh,
Lars.
Jav.
He's just dropped out of that 1 second. Here goes Jav now down the inside into turn 1.
Lars on the switch back, but Jav just still has the tires to get that good exit there, and yeah, I expected Jav's tires to be falling off a little bit now, but they're still looking fairly fresh.
Jav keeping his tyres in good nick so far. For Lars though, I think it's now or never. He has to use his ERS to get past these 2 guys ahead of him if he wants any chance here today.
Ooh,
as a yellow flag.
Where's that happened? Who is that round? Oh, the serial killer. The serial killer is round. I'm not sure he's the one who originally caused the yellow flag, but he did spin. And that is not ideal, of course. Then looking at Jav, he's on 1% at the end of the straight, and yeah, with that ERS, he's of course not able to get past Ryan. But Ryan is in the exact same predicament. He also has barely any ERS to work with. Lars is the only one that feasibly could use his ERS to make a move.
Yeah. The question is, when is Lars gonna go for it? Because see, Jav right now is going to be able to save some ERS just in DRS.
Yeah, that is true, but he just burns ERS as much as he can every single time he opens DRS, as he does again here. Will he try to go for the dive bomb here? Will he go for it? No, not quite, and he has burnt a lot of ERS yet again. As sector 1 there is a yellow flag.
That's just Emperor getting out of the way.
Okay, fair enough. And yeah, it's continued on with Jav right on the back of Ryan here. Ryan struggling through the S's there. Jav right onto the back of him.
Is that Joseph around?
Say that again?
Joseph around the sector 3. That's going to put him under pressure from Ivo. And yep, Joseph around in the wall.
Oh, that's his wing on. Having to peel back into the pits. Oh, as he crashes out, unfortunately. It's never nice to see.
You think that's deliberate? Because that's brought out a safety car right at the end.
Oh, that is... you don't like to see that. It's worked perfectly for Jav because he'll probably make his tires go to the end, but... Of course, Joseph wasn't trying to...
It's bad for Jav.
Yeah, in terms of penalties, it's bad for Jav, but in terms of tyre wear, he'll make it more easily. It's a lose-win situation for him, and this could not work any better for Lars right now, because depending on when the safety car comes in, he could be looking good for the win.
Yeah, and I think the safety car is going to be out for at least a lap or 2, because look at where Letty is on track.
Yeah, Letty and Emperor did get laps. It's only a Letty, yeah.
Honestly, speculation, but like to me, it looked like Joseph may have intentionally just crashed into the wall in frustration.
Yeah, I'd say he crashed into the wall out of pure frustration there, and yeah, Raj in the comment section says Jasper for surprise podium. Wait, let me look at the penalties of the guys ahead of him. It might happen. It might actually happen. Jasper onto the podium. Depending on when the safety car comes in.
I mean, the big gainers from this safety car will be Harry, Jasper, and Lars here.
Yeah, everyone who's catching Clayton in terms of penalties is loving life right now.
And now Letty's pitted.
And Letty has pit. That is going
And
to...
Swipper's pit as well. He's on fresh sauce. We've got Ibo on 4 lap old softs. Emperor Reb obviously still going around, but a lap down. Letty and Swip are probably 2 guys to keep your eyes on. Harry, F, and Jasper, no penalties to their names, so they're looking to jump up the order a decent amount. Lars looking pretty decent, we should say, for a potential win here, as long as he can keep within 3 seconds of Flip and guys ahead. Jav, this is an absolute nightmare for him. A safety car is in this lap, so Letty's call for a pit stop has not worked.
Yeah, that is something, for example, Lars didn't want to see. He would have loved it if just safety car stayed out for one more lap. But if the battling doesn't really commence like it did last time, he could still be looking good for the win. And if you were Flip, would you do it at the exact same position, or do you think another position is more beneficial?
If I was Flip, I probably would go at the same point, but I would make sure that Stephen is not perfectly lined up behind him as he is. I'd wait for Stephen to weave before I go.
Oh,
but no, Stephen's wise to it this time, but he goes a bit...
Oh, that's a very, very poor exit there, and he's already lost nearly a second to Flip ahead. And yeah, this is put Jav right onto the back, Ryan as well, no move being made so far. But yeah, this is not ideal for any of these guys, and it just seems that Stephen really struggles with tire warm up after every safety car every safety car restart.
Oh,
as
Jasper and Harry!
Yeah. Oh, that's so unfortunate with that penalty. And now Lars is the only one in the field who has not picked up a penalty yet, who has done the entire race so far.
But he is about to drop out of that 3-second window to Flip. Yeah, and this is crucial for him to get this race win, is to stay within that 3-second window, and he's just dipped outside it.
Yeah, and of course Flip is using everything he has to get away, because he still realizes that Lars is in that range to get that race win. The thing Lars does not want is anyone ahead of him to start fighting. The moment people ahead of him start fighting is when he loses time.
Unless it's Stephen and Flip, I think he'll want to see Stephen...
Yeah, that's the only battle he wants to see on track. Well, I'm just going to switch to leader real quick. It's just going to keep an eye on Lars at every single given opportunity.
It's on the teetering edge.
It's so close. It's just dropped out for now. My god, this is nail-biting stuff. I think Flip's got it for now. Let's just see how much Flip can really pull away, and whether Stephen will be able to fight him here. Because Stephen is right on the back of him again, and if Stephen starts fighting him, Lars is looking incredibly good for that win, but he's dropping back now from even Jav. He needs to get this last lap absolutely perfect. He's giving it all he's got. Oh, Stephen right on the back of the Flip here.
And Lars is in that 2.8 behind now. It's on the teetering edge.
2.9. It's so close. It keeps swaying in and out of the race win range. And oh, that's a very poor exit for Steve. Now it will help Flip quite a bit there. Oh, he's using all his ERS he can. Oh. He's got better straight on speed. I think he's got the slipstream. Will he try to go down the inside here? He does not. Oh, that is very unfortunate for Lars. Lars needed that battle to happen, and it just hasn't, unfortunately. The only thing he can do is either rely on a Flip to make a mistake, or he's 2.9 seconds right now, 3.1. Oh, this is insanely close. Oh, 3.3, 3.1. He needs to nail every single corner he does now. Flip, left-hander, takes it very nicely. Lars 3.3 behind. It seems like it's too much unless Flip messes up now. He doesn't. Goes across the line and looks like Flip has won the race. Has he? Yes, he has. Lars
Yes,
into
he has.
P2, Ryan P3, and that is an insane finish to the race. Jav unfortunately getting P7, couldn't do much more with those penalties. Yeah, that is a crazy finish to the race. Sir Ibo getting points. That's just something you love to see.
It. That's just worth it.
Love to see.
I feel like that's my driver of the day.
Well, I'm gonna hold on back on that one for now, but yeah, that's for other people to decide. Of course, it's for all the fans at home who have, of course, tuned in for LOE Division 5, the pinnacle of motor racing. Something not even Ivor Green Mike could win the title in.
What you gotta bring that up for?
Anyway, there's Flip and Lars, the top two, both Dutchies. Clearly the best driving nation in the world. And yeah, Flip has won the race around the circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, fantastic win for Flip, and of course with Lars pipping Ryan to second place. I believe Ryan definitely still leading the Drivers' Championship, but I believe now who would be second? I think it's close between Stephen, Flip and Jav, to be honest, but here we go. Flip Namsaram, our race winner here tonight. Lars in second place with no penalties to his name. A massive congratulations on that. Ryan Belshaw in third, Stephen Roback in fourth, Cloudy Cloud and Jasper, after what has been a horrible race for them, they come home 5th and 6th. Jav in 7th, Bellin in 8th, Harry F in 9th, United Bosnia in 10th, Serial Killer in 11th, Ibo rounding out the points in 12th place, and Aledi 13th, but did manage to get the fastest lap of the race.
And yeah, Swip and Swip right behind him, and I'd have to say Lars gets my driver of the day vote, going from 13th to 2nd and now picking up no penalties, which eventually got him that P2. It's incredibly impressive in my opinion, and of course I'm extremely biased towards Dutch. I usually dislike him, but I like Lars personally, so yeah, he gets my vote.
I mean, you'll get a chance to discuss the race with him now, because we get to do the post-race interviews as I try and find everyone's names.
That's very nice indeed. And Mike, who would you go for driver of the day?
I mean, my driver of the day has to go to Flip. I mean, he was under so much pressure at the end, especially in the last 10 laps after the first safety car, and he was able to keep his cool, keep his head clean, and not allow anyone else to really steal that win from him.
Yeah, that's a very good shout indeed. Had a very good start, couldn't quite get P1, but yeah, very good win. Didn't crumble under the pressure, which is so easy to do. I've been one of those who's crumbled under that pressure, and yeah, just very impressive stuff from him to get the race win.
Yep, I'm just trying to find these. Right, there we go. One extra, and Ryan Belshaw. Ryan came through, didn't he? Yeah. I swear I gotta start adding everyone in there. D5 and just put a custom list together. Right. Here we go. Podium has been sent an invite.
Lovely stuff. And yeah, now we're just waiting for the drivers to join the party. And yeah, what would you what kind of rating would you give this race, Mike?
I mean, for suspense, I give it a solid 9 or 10 out of 10 for suspense at the end. In terms of racing, we saw a lot of mistakes and questionable safety car that came out at the end, but it did provide us with a fantastic climax to the race. So, I mean, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say the end of the race was definitely an 9 out of 10. Partly, of course, but because Joseph retired and cost that safety car. And I'd say the rest of the race was probably a 7. So there's some good battles, some interesting strategy, and yeah, the top two just stormed away with it until the safety cars happened. And yeah, the end of the race, of course, was brilliant, brilliant. And yeah, we're getting a few drivers in right now. I saw Lars and Ryan have already joined us. I'm not sure whether Flip will join us, so we shall start with Lars. Lars, of course, qualifying in 13th place. Did you expect to get anywhere near the podium and have the race you did?
Well, qualifying was a little bit of my mistake. In the beginning I stayed in the pit for too long and only could do 1 lap. And in the beginning of the race I was doing my strategy, but it wasn't the time, so I went on the wrong strategy. But in the end, with the safety car, that helped me a lot. And yeah, I was aiming for a top 10, not even a podium. So I'm really happy with this performance for today.
Yeah, massive congrats on that P2. Very impressive. And was it annoying to lose out on that race win, or are you happy with the podium?
Oh, I'm certainly happy with the podium. It's the best I could get. Don't really deserve it, to be honest. Didn't have the great pace, but just lucky to get out of the penalties.
And yes, Mike, any questions you'd like to ask our P2 man?
Yeah, it seemed like early on, just avoiding everyone making mistakes early on was quite crucial for your race. How did it feel like just trying to carve your way through the field early on, seeing people spin directly in front of you, around you, that could have potentially taken you with you?
Yeah, normally I'm not really like a really aggressive driver myself. Normally I'm always just waiting for people to make mistakes and yeah, then profit from it. That's really my plan in the beginning of the first few with Jeff and Ferrari and someone else until they make mistakes, so that's really good for me. So yeah, just hanging back and make all those mistakes was my plan.
And of course, at the end there, after the safety car, see, I think you had a bit of a slow restart, which allowed Jav to get you on the run up into turn 1, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I couldn't really get my back rear tires to temperature, so I spun out in the final corner. But lucky to avoid the wall though.
And obviously, we mentioned that you were so close to the win, keeping it penalty free. The only man to be penalty free. Of course, after Jav getting past you and seeing Ryan slowly drop back a bit, did you think if these two start fighting now, I could potentially lose any hope of the win?
Well, and when Jeff and Ryan came closer, my plan was already to let them pass, to be honest. Because they have penalties, I would make it in front of them anyway. But yeah, I was just hoping they would fight and they got a little bit closer because I didn't have the pace that they had.
Okay, well, a massive congratulations on your P2, mate. Nice hollow points to start the beginning of the season.
Thank you very much.
And seeing as Flip hasn't joined the party, we shall move on to Ryan. Ryan, our P3 man, of course. Very well done, only getting 3 seconds penalties and staying in a good position to the end of the race, and yeah, managing to clutch that P3. How was that race for you, Ryan? Yeah, and were you ever expecting yourself to end up on that podium? Because, of course, the top two were absolutely bolting away until the safety cars happened. Did you feel like you had the pace to hang on to P3 without the safety cars? Yeah, and now looking forward towards the race next week around Spain. How do you fancy your chances around there? Yeah, of course, being consistent and staying on top of the standings is something you want to do for the entire season. I'm expecting. And Mike, do you have any questions for our P3 man and our current championship leader?
Yeah. So, see, this race it seemed like a far different one to last week, where you were so dominant in comparison to this week. It's this track. You're really just one of your weakest ones on the calendar. And obviously, I'd like to bring up constructors, because it seems like your teammate, he's got the pace to be there with you, but just making one or two mistakes at the moment. You can have a nice quiet word with him and that, just try and get his head a bit cool. And obviously at the end then with the safety car bringing you somewhat back in, were you kind of hoping that the two guys up ahead of you, Stephen and Flip, would battle to maybe give you an opportunity to try and get ahead of both of them into the race lead and for the win? Yeah, well, massive congratulations on P3 here tonight, and obviously 41 points in the driver standings after the first two races. Not a bad start, it's actually a very good one, and hopefully we can see you at the top fighting a lot more often.
And yeah, that will be it for tonight. Thank you for everyone that's managed to tune in for this race and watched until this point. And I wish you a very good night, a very good evening, a very good weekend, I mean. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys next weekend for the race around Spain for Division 5. Much better action, of course, than Division 1. No need to watch that race. Absolute shit show. And yeah. And Mike, do you have any final words?
Roll on Spain now, and obviously we're gonna see now the real pace, I think, of everyone. I think the first two tracks is more about how the driver's confidence is around those tracks. I think when we get into the mid-season, we'll start to see like who's the real championship contenders and everything. But yep, great race from the lads in D5, and next week hopefully my internet will allow me to stream, and we might have Deadly Food back.
Yeah, let's hope so. We shall see you next week, and yeah, from Mike and myself, I'd like to wish everyone a very good night and goodbye.